Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to the channel. First of all, if you would like to donate to me and support the channel, my PayPal will be in the description, so thank you very much. Now, welcome back to Anime King, and I'm back with something new for you guys to enjoy. What if Naruto and Sasuke permanently fuse together, guys? I also post a brand new series over on Anime King 3. The link will be down in the description, so go ahead, check it out and enjoy. And yeah guys, I got this idea some time ago, so I'm finally releasing it now. The Knucklehead and the so-called genius Uchiha fusing together to make something new, something extremely powerful. So if you would like to see part 2 of this, just go ahead and comment down below and tell me. And again, if you want your what if to be done by me, just comment your ideas on any of the latest posts. The other channels will be in the description, so go ahead and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting any more time, let us begin now guys. We begin this episode at the Land of Wave. Both Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha were trapped in Haku's icy prison. He's fast. We can't lay a finger on him, Naruto said. Well, things would have been a lot better if you stayed outside rather than coming in here, Sasuke said. Naruto looked up, searching for any weapons, but he was all out. Wait, what's this? Reaching into his back pocket, he pulled something out. Naruto looked at them, the objects, as he was confused. They were a woman's earring. But why did he have the... Oh yeah. He recalled what happened. Flashback. When Naruto was able to take the Forbidden Scroll. The first thing that Naruto came across. What's this? He thought it was some powerful weapon or something. It was a good thing that he was taught in the academy, while all of them were taught how to unseal basic objects. And the artifacts were sealed inside the Forbidden Scroll. How do I do that again, said Naruto to himself. Oh yeah, he went through hand sign as he unsealed the objects with a poof. Naruto was confused though. It was women's earrings. That was a big letdown. But he did place them in his back pocket. End of flashback. It was a good thing that whenever Naruto washed his pants, he tended to leave things inside of it. However, before, he was in a rush to learn a jutsu, so he simply placed them away. But now, as Naruto looked at the both of them, the strange crystal gem at the bottom was green. Naruto observed it in his hand. They glistened. Perhaps they were some kind of weapon. Naruto reached up and clipped one onto his right ear, ignoring the little pain that he felt. Trying to see if he felt any power. What the hell are you doing? Sasuke asked. Sasuke had to leap out of the way as Naruto jumped as well. You can't win, Haku said. You both will die here. Naruto looked at the Uchiha that was right next to him. Perhaps the both of them are going to need it. Naruto reached and grabbed Sasuke as he clipped it on him. What the... Sasuke spun around. What the hell was that? What did you... Just trying something, said Naruto, when suddenly their bodies start to move towards each other. What is this? What's going on? I don't know, said Naruto. Well, stop it, Sasuke said, but... The both of them slammed into one another as a bright light illuminated the entire place. Even Haku had to shield his eyes, despite the mask that he was wearing. Everyone turned their gaze. Kakashi Hatake and Zabuza came to a stop. looking over towards a bright source of light. Sakura looked forward as the bright light was eating away at the mist, pushing everything away. Clearing out the area, it shot off into the heavens, blowing away all the clouds. The bridge trembled, the water split underneath them as their power surged, confusing everyone on the bridge, especially Haku, who was wondering what the hell was going on. As the light slowly started to die down, revealing who was standing there, standing a bit taller than Sasuke, who had been taller than Naruto, is here now, half blonde, half black, blonde over the right, black over the left. His clothing seemed to have merged together into something else, becoming an orange coat with a black shirt that Sasuke was wearing underneath, with the Uchiha symbol on the back of it, dark pants and sandals as well. 3 whisker marks on both of his cheeks. The inside of his eye was black, the pupil that is, but the outside of the pupil, like the rim, was blue. Haku gazed down from the mirror. Where are the other 2? Who are you? The other 2? They are here. We are one. As for my name, let me guess. Rusaru? No, that's not right. He closed his eyes and placed a hand to his chin before he snapped his finger. I know. You can call me Saruto, he said. He started to rapidly punch the air. Before he started to kick, he flipped and jumped, showing flexibility far beyond the other 2. Would you look at me? I'm setting records, he said. As for you, he sped through hand sign. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. You fool. That's not going to work, Haku said. The last time you... Haku's eyes went wide. The inferno that he released, the literal inferno, seemed to be an apocalyptic end. The mirrors were immediately swallowed. The mirrors were powerful and yet they were destroyed. Haku was forced to jump away, abandoning his technique. A shocked look on his face. Bursting through, Haku crossed his arm and blocked the blow. He felt the vibration course all through him. Impressive. You can block me at this speed, Saruto said. Let's see about this. He disappeared. That is what it seems before Haku felt a brutal kick in his back. Saruto appeared above him and dropped a heel into his mask, cracking it. But the mask did not fall off. He then landed and hit Haku in the stomach, launching him back. Haku dropped down to the ground, taking deep breaths. I won't allow you to win. My master. It's my responsibility as a tool to make him win. He dropped both of his hands on the bridge. The entire section was frozen over as massive ice spikes raced towards Saruto. However, he smiled when suddenly his eyes started to change. The Sharingan appeared, but the comma for the Sharingan was not black. Instead, it was red and burning like fire itself. And it wasn't only one anymore, it was 2. In both of his eyes, he twisted, leaped and jumped and dodged. As he touched down on one of the ice spikes, the perfect angle so it would not pierce him. Haku was stunned. Releasing more chakra, they shot into the air. Saruto slammed his fist and cracked one of them and grabbed it and launched it, forcing Haku to jump. But the moment he did, Saruto was in front of him. The kick that he gave him sent him out of the heavens, crashing down on the bridge violently, causing him to puke up blood under the mask. He crashed hard as he got upwards. Saruto dashed forward and boom! The mask completely shattered as Haku was thrown, crashing down. As he lay there, he was bested, broken and defeated. This newfound strength and power was beyond him in every single way of the word. It wasn't something that he could keep up with. He was done. He couldn't win. He was a failure. Saruto landed right above him. As he gazed downwards, "I remember you," he said, as he accessed his past memories. "You're the one I met in the forest," he said. Haku gazed upwards. "So, it is really you. You two have combined. I never knew a ninja could do something like this." "Well, it's not exactly a technique I know of. It's these things," he said, touching the earrings. "So, are you truly Naruto and the Uchiha, or are you another person entirely?" He looked down, before looking to the right. "I'm not exactly sure," he said, "but that's not important right now. Why would you of all people work for Zabuza? The last thing I remember is you were a rather soft, kind individual." He then remembered, "The one you spoke of, your precious person. Is it Zabuza?" "Yes," Haku said, rising to his feet slowly. "If you don't mind, can you go ahead and kill me now?" "Why do you desire to die?" "Simple. I failed my purpose. I was supposed to be a tool, but I'm no longer. I'm broken. I no longer have a purpose anymore. So go ahead and end it. My life has been nothing but serving my master since he saved me. I killed my own father. My life is a tragic one. I had nothing and no one. So when he came into my life, I gave it to him. But my only purpose was to serve him as his tool. But now that is gone, I have no more purpose. You know, for someone that look like they have common sense, you're really stupid," said Saruto. "What?" Haku said. "Just because someone helped you doesn't mean that you owe them your life. Yes, you can be loyal, yes, you can be their comrade, but you have to have some more sense of dignity. Some sense of living, like you are someone. I know that he helped you, I know that he gave you a purpose, but if he was really a good person, if he really was someone that you should give your life up for, he would never ask you to do that." You don't understand," Haku said. I understand plenty. What you don't seem to understand is, this whole concept of you being a tool is stupid. It's dumb." Saruto turned his head as he heard the sound. The electricity. Haku also hear it as well. "Perhaps I do have one more purpose. In a better way. Perhaps we would have been friends," Haku said, using the last remainder of chakra that he could to muster up the energy. As he slipped through his mirror, Saruto dashed forward. Kakashi Hatake was in the process of driving his Shidori forward to end the life of Zabuza when suddenly the ice mirror appeared. He couldn't stop in time. Haku was shocked though when something grabbed his hand and threw him into the railing. Zabuza got free as the dogs poofed away, no longer able to remain. He raised his blade. Well, he tried to. Someone stomped on his hand and leaped over him, looping his leg around his neck and yanking him down, crashing him into the railing hard as he defused the chakra buildup. Now 2 enemies lie on the floor. Kakashi Hatake spun around. "Who are you?" he said. "There is nothing to fear from me. I am Saruto," he said. What?" Kakashi said, confused, looking towards this individual who looked so much like Naruto and Sasuke. As for Saruto, as he looked down, he questioned his own identity in that moment, truly struggling. Was he them? No, they were gone. He was Saruto. He was no longer Naruto Uzumaki or Sasuke Uchiha. He was a new person entirely. However, not even he himself knew how drastic this mental, well, ideology of who he is will be on him. But for now, you can see the different ideologies that was coursing through his mind. He grabbed Zabuza. He grabbed him. As Zabuza tried to raise his hand, his fist crashed into Zabuza's nose, shattering it. Zabuza was tired from the battle, but he still had enough strength. But he did not get the opportunity when Saruto got up and kicked him across the head, causing a rather great deal amount of damage. His head slammed into the bridge. He then grabbed his face and beat it into the railing. Zabuza was coughing up blood, soaking the bandages. That person over there is supposed to be your comrade, and yet you treat them so badly they want to kill themselves out of the desire that they fail you. You're pathetic. Your system and ideology of being powerful truly disgust me, Saruto said, as his mind was not just Naruto or Sasuke, it was merged into something new. He had a new perspective on a lot, but at the same time struggling with theirs as well. No, stop. Don't kill him, Haku said. Do you see? Even after you're bested, even after he is bested, his desire is still to aid you even after what I've already said, and he knows it's the truth. How does that make you feel? Do you have any sympathy for the thing that you created? Tell me, he questioned. He needed the answer more than Zabuza thought because, well, it also would probably give him an answer on his own ideology as a person. You know nothing, he spat. Haku was always meant to be a tool. That is his purpose. That is what he lived for. He grabbed Zabuza by the throat and lifted him up. He slammed him against the railing once again. This time, Zabuza's back was in agony. He raised his hand outwards like he was about to shove it straight through Zabuza's chest. However, Haku got up and grabbed his hand. Please, don't, he said. Is this really what power gives you? Or perhaps you're simply that naive and idiotic, that you truly believe that you are creating something good. But you're not a good person, are you? You're a monster in this world. And you created a weapon because he didn't have any ideology. He didn't have his own sense of mind. Tell me, was he a mistake? If you didn't find him, what would he have been then? The question was more tied into Saruto's own ideology, as he was perhaps taking that a bit out on Zabuza at the moment, but at the same time, it was hitting Zabuza. When Saruto turned and grabbed Haku by the throat, the compassion, the empathy that Naruto once possessed was there, but it wasn't the same anymore. Haku had no strength to fight back as a kunai was plucked off the ground from their battle. He picked Kakashi kunai up. He placed it at Haku's chest. A broken tool is a worthless tool, right? So I guess you don't need this anymore. He pulled his arm back to drive it inside of Haku's chest, but Zabuza lashed out to grab him. That was all the confirmation that Saruto needed. He ducked and slammed his elbow in Zabuza's chest, stunning him as he fell back to the ground. He then released Haku. I guess it wasn't a mistake, he said. Well. A voice spoke up. Look what we have here. They all turned, seeing what was taking place at the moment. It was none other than Gateau. Saruto stepped forward as a mist blew away to reveal the army standing behind Gateau. I must say, are you really the one that is terrorizing all these people? Who the hell are you? My name is Saruto, and you're Gateau. I see now why you've been such a horrible person. Compensating for something, said Saruto. raising his hand above Gato's head. Are, are you talking about my height? Gateau said immediately, pissed. Do you know who I am, you brat? I would have you and your entire family executed. Sorry, I don't have any family. As for you, Saruto sped forward. Gateau eyes widened. Kill him! Kill him now! Two of his guards stepped in front of him, but Saruto dodged to the left, sweeping the left one legs away and grabbing the axe that he had in his hand. He flipped it and buried it deep within Gateau's skull. You don't deserve to live after what you've done. Especially to Kaiser, he said, landing right beside Gateau. Remember my words in your final moments. You're scum, and you died like scum. Everyone that was there lost it. Gateau was their meal ticket and this brat killed him. Saruto flipped away as he landed. Come on then, come and have a go. And let's see how much you guys stuck up to me. They ran forward as he sped through hand sign. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. The inferno scorch. A large quantity of them. The others immediately turned. Seeing the front ones getting burned to sunder, they ran, running for their life. Saruto stood there, calm as ever, dismissive of their death despite him having burned many of them like it was nothing. He looked down as one of them was holding his leg. He kicked him across the face, knocking him down. Kakashi Hatake was confused until they all turned when they saw the army of individuals. They came from the land of Wave. Iniri was able to bring them back together. Time skip. Both Sakura and Kakashi were watching Saruto as he spoke to Iniri. So wait, you're Naruto and Sasuke? No, they are no longer here. I am Saruto. But I don't understand, Iniri said. It's complicated, but I do remember what I said to you. So, you're still... I am Saruto. Saruto said once again. It doesn't matter, Iniri said. It's over. Gateau is finally gone because of you. As he hugged him, Saruto patted Iniri on the head. Nothing to worry about. Just my job, he said. Saruto was standing there speaking to the child as the others were confused. I don't get it, Tazuna said. How did they merge together? I don't get it either, said Kakashi. It really made no sense to him. He saw the earrings. They could be the culprit behind all of this. Time skip. I told you, stop calling me that. But it's Sakura was nervous. I am neither Naruto or Sasuke. I am Saruto. So don't call me by those names, he said to her. The whole thing was just so complicated. At the end of the day though, so that's his new name now. Well, I guess you're right. He did save us. The people were saying as Iniri spoke about the one that truly changed everything. So let's name it the Great Saruto Bridge then. As the people cheered. At Konoha, Team 7 had returned. Hiruzen Sarutobi got word because the Anvus found it so strange that Kakashi Hatake was with 2 members instead of 3. Hiruzen Sarutobi, he froze. He completely froze, fearing the worst. Also blaming himself as well because he got the letter from Kakashi. He could have stopped the mission because it wasn't something that they were ready for. And one of them died. When they stepped into his office, he held his breath to see who it was until he saw. Who are you? He said, looking at the newcomer. I am Saruto. He looked towards Kakashi. What the hell is going on? Kakashi scratched the back of his head. It's hard to explain. Moments later, Hiruzen recognized them. They were recovered a long time ago from the remnants of the Uzumaki clan. However, they were tested, but nothing happened. As Hiruzen realized why, it needed a Uzumaki. That had to be the reason. No one was able to truly see what happened when both boys placed the earring on. But Saruto had the memory of what happened. However, the way he spoke about Naruto and Sasuke was like they were dead. He spoke about them in the past terms, like they didn't exist anymore. And whenever they mistakenly said either name, he reminded them that he was neither. The whole thing was just complicated and mind-boggling. However, a solution: take them off. He reached up and removed them. Sakura held her breath to see him return back to normal, but nothing. He held them in his hand as he crushed them. What the hell have you done? Kakashi and Hiruzen shouted at the same time. That is not me. It's a pass. And I am Saruto. I am neither Naruto Uzumaki or Sasuke Uchiha, he said. And I will not be tied to that past, he said, crushing both of them. Because he was his own person now, with his own feelings and his own identity as well. So he crushed them in his hands, stopping them from studying them and finding out possible ways to reverse it. However, it was already irreversible. Nothing could change what took place. Time skip. For the time being, Team 7 was currently on standby due to the fact that, well, they only had 2 members now, and they had to learn. Yes, they had to learn exactly what Saruto was. As Hiruzen decided to see what they can do. One of the major problems was they could not find the 9 tails. The Death Reaper seal was not on his stomach. Now that was bad, yes, because the Death Reaper seal was not there, nor could they locate the 9 tails power. However, this person wasn't 2 people anymore. It was only one being. He's not 2 people combined into one, he's only one person now. It was only one chakra source. Theoretically, he was a full Uchiha and a full Uzumaki at the same time. It was rather confusing. It was nothing like they've ever seen before. Nothing like they ever dealt with before. Within the beginning, he was conflicted at times. In the earlier on, it's like he heard 2 instincts wrestling in his head. He has Sasuke and Naruto drive. Naruto drive to protect, and Sasuke cool ambition. However, they've welded together, creating something more precise, something more scary. After all, his demonstration on the bridge was a prime example of that. They had left Zabuza and Haku to flee, running away and surviving to live another day. The more time passed, the more he started to become his own person. He doesn't cry. He stopped over talking that much. But he does feel very deeply. But he suppresses it like a storm waiting to explode as he gazed at the younger Sasuke and the younger Naruto. As they grew up right in front of his eyes, the both of them having their different opinions. They looked towards him. You are not us. I never wanted to be, said Saruto. Sakura tried to find a middle ground. However, she kept on calling them either Sasuke or Naruto. As he made it rather clear, you keep calling me Naruto or Sasuke, but those 2 no longer exist. I am what is left. I am what they've become. He's a perfect blend of trauma, a lot of Sasuke's trauma and Naruto's as well, and potential. Both boys have tremendous potential, insanely amount. However, his mindset went into a rather scary part. He wondered, was he meant to be born? Is this a power or a curse? Or is it the real me? He questioned himself. He had the memories of both of the boys. Curious, what if he lost everything that the both of them cared about? He was a being that never truly had a childhood, but he had memories of a childhood that wasn't his. You add that to his rather developing, growing mind. It created a being that was very dangerous even though he was still physically young. As their combination of the both of them fusing doesn't just combine, but it severely multiply what they are, including power, stats, everything. And as the time passed by, he started to change. Saruto was born from grief and isolation. Naruto's isolation plus Sasuke's grief. Now that the time had passed by, you could truly see the crucial twisting of their own personality coming out into a brand new one for him. He doesn't want peace. He wants control. He doesn't want revenge. He wants finality. He doesn't want acceptance. He wants to be feared and obeyed. So no one could break him down ever again. Coming from Sasuke's loss of his family and Naruto being alone, their personalities coming out in new perspective for him, and it was really showing as the weeks went by. As the doctors and scientists tried their best to truly understand as the people around him started to be affected in many different ways. Well, that was a whole nother story. But for him at the moment, he had been struggling to understand if he was just a brief accident or if he was truly a new form of shinobi evolution. He wants to master his power and master his identity. He wants to surpass every technique, every clan, every god. It's not out of ego, but to prove that he exists, that he was a real person, that he wasn't just a combination of two beings, that he wasn't just a power. However, there was also one other aspect, is despise of the system. He blamed the system for the way and the path that Itachi went down. He blamed it. He blamed the system for what Naruto went through. Naruto might have been naive and easy to forget and easy to forgive, but Saruto had seen their memories. He saw their life, and it angered him. Yes, it angered him greatly. The system was broken. He remembered Haku's words, which made him think back to realize Haku was right. All of them were tools. After all, they use children for war. Children who can't even do much yet. They're sent into battle and chaos. A world should not be like this. Thus Saruto saw it. He doesn't want to become Hokage. He doesn't want to become a public figure. He wants everlasting dominance. That is how he saw it. And unlike Naruto, who believed in talking, trying to build someone up with his words, and Sasuke, who wants personal vengeance, Saruto was looking for something much, much deeper. He wants to understand the ideology of this world, who benefit from war, who benefit from chaos, as well as his desire to kill Itachi. Does he truly want to kill Itachi? Yes, but no longer for revenge, but for the truth. Sasuke wanted to kill Itachi, and Naruto wanted to save Sasuke from himself. But he wanted the truth, and if he doesn't like it, he will bury it. Over the weeks that passed by, his mindset was rapidly increasing. You could see the fundamental combination of two, not just added but multiply. Everything about him was truly extraordinary. The changes were happening fast, quick. There was one obsession though, his hatred of his weakness. Yes, he despised his limitations. He despised them with every fiber of his being. As the both of them, their power had been multiplied, and you could see it rather clearly. His training was intense, as he was pushing himself like some of the more, dangerous trainers in the village, such like Mike Guy and Rock Lee. Climbing the mountainside with only one hand, the other hand tied behind his back, as he jumped and leaped, jumping from one side to the other, doing thousands of push-ups, running. His physical training was going beyond the normal level of what either Sasuke or Naruto was capable of. But he was a lot stronger. And his control was a lot greater as well. Because his chakra had been pushed to abnormal levels. Beyond what the two of them ever were. The power of the fox seemed to be somewhere but not right there at the moment, which was complicated. As he focused and trained, learning how to truly master his chakra. Unlike Naruto before, who was always moving around, he was calm as he meditated, allowing the leaf to flow across his body, creating a new form of exercise by allowing the leaf to move across him from one hand to the other, going around him as he uses chakra to guide it, manipulate it, and conquer it. His combat was unpredictable. Naruto rather feral attacks, and Sasuke fighting style, merging into something close, something dangerous and deadly, as his raw power output was more visible than most now, especially when he uses powers in rather unconventional ways. You could see that the fox chakra was still there, but where exactly? Well, none of the others that were testing him know, as he was keeping things to himself, and that was rather obvious. As he started to mimic his opponent's fighting style, not just their movements, the Sharingan was growing as well. As the Sharingan limitations were breaking, the eyes were becoming, well, erratic. They weren't normal anymore. A collaboration of the Uchiha eyes truly merged with the power of the fox and an Uzumaki has never been truly seen before, because it should not be possible. So no one truly knows the outcome of what it will truly turn into, something truly phenomenal though. Along with the trauma and ambition to drive, the obsession to grow stronger, he trained harder than Rock Lee. But unlike Rock Lee, he learns at least 20 times faster. His growth was beyond normal, to the point that the Anvu started to watch him, orders from the Hokage, as he did not seem to be slowing down anytime soon. As for the populace around him, well, Kakashi Hatake, his team sensei, was there. He had tried his best to help Naruto and Sasuke due to his own traumatic past, but they have both fused into someone rather unstable in every single sense of the word. For the time being while they were down, he tried to guide Saruto, but he sensed a wall. Saruto doesn't need him. Feeling guilty for both boys, seeing Saruto as a mirror to his own, mistaking his past, trying to control the trauma through strength, trying to find the middle ground. But the more time passed, the more he realized that this person was not like Naruto or Sasuke in any sense of the word. And he was growing quietly afraid of what Saruto will become. As he realized rather clearly, you are not them. You don't even pretend to be. And that is what makes him so dangerous. As for Sakura, guilt, grief, identity crisis, she is devastated. Her crush, Sasuke, her teammate Naruto, they are both gone. Standing beside him, she feel invisible. She feel invisible standing next to Saruto. At first, she tried to talk to him like he was still Sasuke, but Saruto immediately shut her down. As for the third Hokage, he was nervous, but he was a man that saw the small little opportunities and latch onto it. He tried to see Saruto, but he understood that he was a very powerful individual. He needed guidance, proper control, trying to show him village loyalty, but Saruto was unpredictable. You could tell from his eyes alone, the way he look at you when he speaks, the way he acts, the way he behaves. He can remain so quiet that you would think that he was angry, but his whole demeanor seemed different in every single concept of the word. As Hiruzen started to see the growth, he was afraid that Saruto might end up worse than Orochimaru if not handled properly. Power like that doesn't just stay neutral for very long. As Sakura spoke to others about what happened, they start to see him as well. Shikamaru started to notice this person, the way he spoke, the way he carried himself. Shikamaru was a prime example of being much smarter than he seems. And he realized that Saruto was a prime example of that as well. He wasn't, the way he saw things, the way he looked at things, something was off about him. Kiba preferred Naruto. He saw Sasuke as a jackass at least. Naruto was fun to have around, but this new person was different in every sense of the word. Choji wasn't sure what to think. Hinata Hyuga, she was devastated. She tried to follow him, but he caught her. And the way he spoke, questioning her on what she wanted. Naruto had never spotted her before when she followed him. Her Naruto was gone. He was gone. As she looked into this person's eyes, she never saw it. She never saw that look of her Naruto. He wasn't there. The villagers did not know how to react. Some of them were fearful, some of them were upset. As the information slowly started to spread around, as this wasn't something that they could truly keep in because they had no way of truly fixing it. But for the time being, it was in the village and not leaving the village. So that was good. However, it was rather clear that the two boys were gone and someone else was there now. Danzo was able to worm himself in. Having someone that would be a perfect match for the team, someone that could keep an eye on Saruto, someone that was smart enough and had a bit more experience than your normal genin. So if Kakashi was ever out of commission, he could be able to help as well. His name was Sai, no last name because, same like Saruto, he doesn't really call himself Saruto Uchiha or Saruto Uzumaki, he just says Saruto. The new boy arrived, as he was there waiting on them. Arriving early. Yes, that would be great for showing your investment in your future team. This was the first mission that he was getting in this capacity, and he aimed to show his worth. As a root ninja, Sai also lacked any emotion, which would make him do his job perfectly. There was nothing to hold him back. The next to arrive was Sakura. As she saw him, hello, she said. You must be Sakura Haruno, he said. From today on, I will be a part of your team. My name is Sai, he said. His smile was large. Sakura found it kind of weird, but she pushed forward. Hello there. I am Sakura Haruno, she said. Oh yeah, you probably already know that. They shook hands though. So, where is the other member? The unusual one. Unusual? She said, looking towards him. I was told to expect something unusual, Sai said. That is when he started to arrive. Sakura did not meet his gaze. Their last conversation was rather, awkward for her. Naruto had never spoken to her like that before. Flashback. You want to see how I'm doing? You want to check up on me? Saruto said, looking towards Sakura. Well, I'm fine. You know, instead of wasting your time asking about me, you should be focusing on your own ninja affairs. If you haven't noticed, your lack of, anything regardless in the ninja field area is going to be a huge letdown in the coming future. How could you say that, she said. I'm just being obvious. Would you like me to lie to you, he said. She glared at him. You are definitely not Naruto. He would never say that to me. How much time do I have to tell you? I am neither of them. They're gone. I am someone else. Don't speak about them like that. They're not just anyone. They were my friends, my teammates. Really? If I remember correctly, You barely spoke to Sasuke because of your stupid crush. And if you want to know something, he never liked you. He always find you annoying. Sakura was stunned. Secondly, you believe that Naruto liked you as well, but trust me, he did not. He simply wanted something that Sasuke had because he was competitive. You see, he doesn't understand the true romantic feelings of love. And he never did. And he will never understand them because he, along with Sasuke, are dead. She slapped him across the face, angered by his words. Still weak, he said. Train yourself to get better. He walked away, leaving her in tears. It wasn't that he hated her or anything, but she was annoying. Yes, she kept on speaking like he was someone else. And given his mental adapting to the new understanding of what he was, her constantly referring to him as those two were, well, they were pissing him off, so he decided to make it very clear to her. With that, he left the area, leaving her crying on the ground. End of flashback. So that is why it was weird as she saw him. However, his attention was on Sai as he made his way towards a newcomer. As he extended his hand, "Hello there," he said. "I'm Saruto." Sai reached out and took the hand, never expecting the force that would drag him forward. Sai blinked as they were so close to one another. I must say, this is a rather unusual way of greeting. Or perhaps, is this some sort of advancements? Sai questioned. "If you would be so lucky," said Saruto. "But there is something I would like to know. Were you sent here to watch me?" Sai looked at him. "I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm your team member. Why would I be watching you? You know, recently, I started to discover a lot of things about myself. One of the things is people, well, tied emotion to their erratic state. But looking at you right now and holding your hand, there is nothing there. Barely a flicker on my radar. Because you're not feeling anything, are you? You barely have any emotions. Or if you have them, they're concealed so tightly that they won't be a problem to you, allowing you to do what is necessary. I presume that is to watch me and make sure that I don't go off the rails." He released Sai. I must say, that was a rather unusual welcome to the team, Sai said with his fake smile. As Saruto returned one back, one just as fake as Sai's. Luckily, Kakashi arrived. This was going to be their new member. Time skip. Weeks later, Sakura crashed down to the ground. Above her was a Kunoichi, a few years older. Sai was surrounded by at least several individuals. Sai had his tanto out. They all turned when they heard it. As they watched, Saruto was sent sailing. He smashed into the wall. The mission was supposed to be simple. They were supposed to pick up trash. However, Kakashi got the alert, which forced him to return back to the village while they stay at the Land of Waterfalls. That is when Suien attacked, the one that they came here to protect and guard in the first place. His name was Shibuki. Shibuki himself was on the ground. As he looked up towards Naruto, Suien was his former teacher who believed that he should rule because Shibuki wasn't strong enough. I'm sorry, Shibuki said towards Naruto. Having been bested, we can't defeat him now. He's drank the hero water. Over to the side, the dark hair, dark eyes. Suien was bursting with so much power. He drank the hero water, a sacred water that increased your chakra by 10 folds. As he mustered up the power to send Naruto into the wall, their battle quickly changing after he consumed the water. Naruto lay there unmoving. Suien started to walk towards them. It's over, Shibuki. Pledge your allegiance to me, and I might allow you to live. As long as there is breath in my lungs, I won't allow you to hurt these children. Shibuki said, struggling to get to his feet. So naive as you've always been. Well, it doesn't really matter now, does it? Because you will die right here. The water that surrounded him formed into a glob of sorts. A tentacle, almost like a spear, shot towards Shibuki. He couldn't dodge in time. However, the water tentacle was destroyed. Shibuki blinked. Standing beside him was Saruto. Saruto got to his feet as he started to crick his neck. Must say, I wasn't expecting the upgrade so quickly. Rather drastic as well, Saruto said, as he was holding a kunai in his hand, dripping with blood. Suien snapped his head to the right as he saw his second in command, the one that was beating Sakura. Her head was no longer attached. He looked over as he saw 3 others dead. The last one, well, Sai cut him down as he was too caught off guard. What the hell did you do? Suien shouted in rage. Sai himself was baffled. That speed. He was shocked. He always knew that Saruto was fast. Weeks of being on a team together, but this was faster than anything that he's ever shown. He swept through the area, annihilating 4 people at once. They didn't see it coming. When Saruto opened his eyes, they truly understand. A red and purple aura surrounded him. His Sharingan, 3 totem in both of his eyes, swirling. Behind him a silhouette of a beast. It was the 9 tails, but it possessed the Sharingan. I'll kill you. I'll kill you all! Suien shouted. His entire body erupted with water, creating a mass with at least 100 arms, tentacles mostly. He dashed them forward as Saruto blitzed. Dodging and weaving out of the way, he flipped in mid-air and expanded both of his hands to either side. I can see it. His eyes wide open. I can see it all, he said. 10 tentacles converge upon him and strike, but he was already gone. Suien blinked in shock. The kunai coated in the aura ripped through his powerful water form, tearing a line from his waist as the blood sprayed open. Crying out in pain, Suien fell over. Saruto gripped the kunai as he flipped it, about to end it, but Suien shouted. The water blew Saruto away. You idiot! You're going to die! Shibuki tried to stop him because he would destroy everything. The trees, the land. He started to push himself, rage that he was bested by a child. The problem was, his hair started to turn white, his skin started to turn frail, but the amount of power that he was releasing was nothing normal. Shibuki turned, but he was grabbed. Sakura was grabbed, Sai was grabbed. Clones of Saruto grabbed all of them and flashed towards the top surface. As Saruto was the only one, he went through hand sign as his mind flashed back to Kakashi Shidori. He had saw it after all. Yes, he saw it. However, as the words came from him, I saw your lightning, but I turned it into infantry, said Saruto as he held his hand up. Suddenly, the discharge around it started to appear. A powerful discharge. He dubbed it the Coruscant Flash, a black and gold lightning spear that surround his arm. Saruto was a different kind of monster when it comes to learning techniques. He broke down Kakashi Shidori, yes, piece by piece, learning it, understanding it from just seeing it. However, he did not want to copy it. He wanted to make it better, more dangerous. But unlike the true destructive force that he needed, right now he only needed a small amount. His eyes, predicting and seeing the precise moment. His eyes could see the flow. His eyes could see the pattern. His eyes could see the movements before they were even made. Far, far ahead of time. He could see it all. The black and gold lightning spasm around his hand. He dashed forward and thrust his hand out like a stabbing motion. However, Suien simply shouted. But the shock of his life happened when the lightning turned to the left and zipped to the right and zipped to the side. It wasn't behaving like a straight-on attack. Suien spun around. Where did it go? Where did it? Boom! It exploded. The discharge. But that was just a distraction. The attack surged once again as he thrust his hand. Suien spun. However, it slammed right into his gut. Just as he stated, he didn't want anything destructive just enough. He saw the pattern. The system started to overload from the chakra burst, fusing some of his points together, literally burning him out. And once that happened, Suien started to swell and swell and swell and swell. The chakra wasn't leaking out, instead, it was gathering. Boom! He exploded. All trace of him wiped away. As Saruto stood there, Sai. He was surprised. Sakura, shocked. Shibuki looked towards the other two and looked back down. Is this the future generation? He questioned. Their strength was beyond what he ever expected. That was just one of the dangerous missions that Team 7 found themselves on. There was another when Shadow Fang Pulse. Saruto yelled out, releasing one of his new, genuine techniques. It was a wide pulse of black fire, plus chakra fangs emerging from the shadows. The function was the fire ignite the shadows of the enemy, binding them in place, restraining them for a short amount of time. A collaboration of the fire jutsu and the shadow clone jutsu. As Saruto told Aoi Rokusho, the wielder of the thunder blade, don't stand in your own shadow. I own it now. With a blitz burst of speed, not any normal speed. It was called the phase and shift dash. As his speed was seen as instantaneous movement. There was no after effect. There was no speed mirage or nothing. It was just instant. It made it seem like he teleported, but it was just frictionless micro bursts as he moved. There was no friction, no images, nothing at all. This was extremely perfect for close quarter combat, as it would catch the enemy off guard majority of the time, well, depending on their strength level though. Think of it like a much more silent Sunshin, designed for assassination. Aoi Rokusho screamed out, as it wasn't just the blade that left his arm, it was his hand as well. Reaching downwards, Saruto picked up the blade. The Thunder Sword, it worked by applying chakra to it. It was a special sword in Konoha, formerly owned by the second Hokage after Aoi Rokusho stole it and left the village. Breaking free from Saruto, Shadow Trap, he dashed forward, but the blade was no longer the same way. As he placed it over his shoulder and ignited, the lightning was now black, with red flickers around it, and the blade extended beyond your normal range and ripped through Aoi. stunning him where he stood. He collapsed down on the ground. Saruto spun around, splitting Aoi in half as both paths collapsed down to the ground. He held the blade up in his hand, looking at it. It was perfect, he thought to himself. Stopping the flow of chakra, it returned back to a handle. Kakashi Hatake arrived, as he had the person that they were designed to protect. As the group had been split up, he never expected Aoi to go after Naruto, but he was well taken care of. Over to the other side, the other four that came with Aoi was on the ground. Not very talented were they, as Sakura and Sasuke had bested them. Sakura has been training, trying her best to stand beside Saruto because she felt invisible when she was next to him. She was trying to prove that she was worth something, his words still bothering her. You could see the gaze from Kakashi Hatake, the way he looked at Saruto as he was holding that blade in his hand. A lot has happened over the past few months that took place, and the Chunin exams were now coming around. Time skip. Report. Danzo Shimura said as he was speaking to Sai. His strength, it's constantly rising, constantly growing. Even when I first joined the team, it was a few weeks after that I delivered my report about the mission to the Land of Waterfall. The wielder that drank all the heroes' water, his level of chakra was high Jonin. His experience was great due to his age, and his control was immaculate. However, Saruto was able to use all of that against him and overpower him in every single category. He bested him, and throughout that time, his strength had risen to greater levels. He showed no sign of slowing down. I monitor his training. It's a life and death situation for him constantly, pushing himself to insane levels, but it is his growth. He's growing to levels that should not be physically possible. The way Sai spoke, Danzo could see it as well. There was an unusual fascination there. Intrigue, shocked by all of the recent developments, yes. Sai was intrigued, not normally seen. Such gifted. Well, he has, but this was different. The way he was about, the way he trained, the way he goes about his own development. It was truly intriguing to Sai. Very, very so. Keep on monitoring him, Danzo said. Danzo was worried about this boy. Not only did he possess the Uchiha genes, however, he also had the power of the Nine Tails coursing through him because none of them could find exactly where the power was. It was inside of his system. Danzo had wanted to truly understand this fusion, but the child destroyed the only link that they had to it, and the remains, well, they were nothing now. The only way for Danzo to truly understand is to get the boy on the operating table, but there were certain factors that wouldn't allow that to happen. But Danzo was going to keep a close eye on him. If elimination is necessary, it will be done. If brainwashing is necessary, it will be done. But Danzo will succeed in the end, as he was watching the boy constantly. But for now, the world is in for a rather nasty surprise, as the Chunin exams was coming around. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see part 2 of this, you already know what to do. Just comment down below and tell me, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible. But I'm out for now, see you guys soon. Peace.